It was just another day at St. Mary's Children's Hospital, or so everyone thought. Nurses bustled about, doctors made their rounds, and children laughed softly in the playroom. But little did they know, something extraordinary was about to happen. At exactly 2:15 p.m., a sleek black car pulled up outside the hospital gates. Out stepped Angelina Jolie, her presence commanding attention even as she tried to keep things low-key. She wore no makeup, just a warm smile and a bag filled with gifts. No cameras followed her. This visit wasn't for show, it was personal. As she walked through the doors, the staff froze for a moment. Some recognized her instantly, while others simply felt the kindness radiating from her demeanor. "Hi," she said softly, shaking hands with the nurse at the front desk. "I'm here to see the kids." The nurse blinked, trying to process what was happening. "Of course," she stammered. "Right this way." And with that, Angelina disappeared down the hallway, leaving behind whispers of awe and disbelief. But what happened next? That's where our story truly begins. Angelina had always been more than just a Hollywood star. To many, she was a symbol of hope, someone who used her fame to bring light into dark corners of the world. But today, she wasn't here as an actress or activist. Today, she was simply a visitor, a friend. As she entered the playroom, the room fell silent for a brief moment. The children stared, wide-eyed, unsure if what they were seeing was real. One little boy, no older than 6, tugged on his mother's sleeve. "Mom," he whispered, "is that really Angelina Jolie?" His mom smiled through tears. "Yes, sweetheart, it is." Angelina knelt down to meet the kids at their level, her voice gentle but full of warmth. "Hi there," she said. "My name's Angie. I brought some friends with me today." With those words, she reached into her bag and pulled out a stack of colorful books, each one tailored to the interests of the children in the room. The kids erupted into cheers, forgetting their illnesses, forgetting their worries. They swarmed around her like bees to honey. She handed out books, hugged tiny shoulders, and listened intently as they shared their stories. There was Emma, who dreamed of becoming a ballerina, and Sam, whose favorite superhero was Spider-Man. Then there was Lily, a quiet girl with bright red hair, who clutched her teddy bear tightly as Angelina sat beside her. "Do you like drawing?" Angelina asked Lily, noticing the sketchbook peeking out from under the table. Lily nodded shyly. "Well, maybe we can draw together sometime," Angelina suggested. And just like that, a connection formed, a bond that would last far beyond this visit. But as wonderful as these moments were, Angelina wasn't done yet. She had something else planned, something special that would leave a lasting impression on everyone in that room. After spending over an hour in the playroom, Angelina noticed something unusual. In the corner of the room sat a boy named Jake, about 10 years old, who hadn't joined in the fun. He sat quietly, staring out the window, his face pale but determined. Angelina approached him cautiously, not wanting to intrude but sensing that he needed attention. "Hey there," she said softly, crouching beside him. "What's going on in that big brain of yours?" Jake glanced at her briefly before looking away again. "Nothing," he muttered. Angelina smiled gently. "Come on now, I know nothing isn't really nothing. You're thinking about something." Finally, Jake turned to face her, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. "My dad promised he'd come visit me today, but he didn't show up," he admitted. "He never does." The room seemed to grow quieter as Angelina listened intently. She reached out and placed a hand on his shoulder. "That must feel really hard," she said. "But you know what? Sometimes people let us down, and it's okay to be upset about that. What matters is how we handle it." Jake sniffled, wiping his nose with the back of his hand. "How do you handle it?" he asked. Angelina thought for a moment, then stood up straight. "Well, sometimes, I make someone else smile instead. Smiles are powerful, they can change everything." And with that, she had an idea so simple yet so meaningful, that it would transform not just Jake's day, but everyone's. Angelina returned to her bag, and pulled out a small notebook and pen. She scribbled something quickly, then tore the page out and handed it to Jake. "Here," she said, with a wink. This is your mission for today. Jake unfolded the paper, his curiosity piqued. Written on it were 3 simple tasks: make one person laugh, share a hug with someone who needs it, tell a story that makes someone smile. But why me? Jake asked, still unsure. Because you're strong enough to do it, Angelina replied firmly, and because smiles are contagious. If you start sharing them, others will too. At first, Jake hesitated, but as he looked around the room at the other kids laughing and playing, something inside him shifted. Maybe, just maybe, he could try. He started with Emma, the aspiring ballerina. He told her a silly joke he'd heard from his dad. Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have the guts. Emma giggled so hard she nearly fell off her chair. Mission 1 complete. Next, he approached Sam, the Spider-Man fan, who was sitting alone in the corner. Jake gave him a big bear hug, surprising Sam so much that he laughed out loud. What was that for? Sam asked. For being awesome, Jake replied with a grin. Mission 2 complete. Finally, Jake turned to Lily, the quiet artist. He sat beside her and began telling a story about a magical kingdom where animals could talk and trees grew candy. As he spoke, Lily's pencil moved across the paper, bringing his words to life in vivid drawings. By the end of the story, both of them were smiling ear to ear. Mission 3 complete. But Jake wasn't done yet. Inspired by what he'd accomplished, he decided to take things further. He gathered all the kids in a circle and proposed a game. Everyone had to share one thing that made them happy. The room filled with laughter, stories, and newfound friendships. Even the nurses paused their work to watch, tears welling up in their eyes. Meanwhile, Angelina watched from the sidelines, her heart swelling with pride. She knew Jake's actions would ripple outward, touching more lives than anyone could imagine. Yet there was still one final challenge waiting. A challenge that would test everyone's spirits. Just as the laughter and joy reached its peak, the door to the playroom swung open. In walked Mr. Thompson, Jake's father, looking flustered and out of breath. The room fell silent, all eyes turning toward him. Jake froze, his smile fading into confusion. Dad, he whispered, standing up slowly. Mr. Thompson hesitated, clearly unsure of how to explain himself. Jake, he began, but his voice cracked. He looked around the room, taking in the scene of happiness he'd interrupted, and seemed to realize how much he'd missed. Angelina stepped forward, sensing the tension. Mr. Thompson, she said calmly, this is a special place, a place where kids come to forget their worries, even if just for a little while. Today, your son did something truly remarkable. He spread kindness and joy to everyone here. Mr. Thompson's expression softened. I didn't mean to miss today, he admitted, stepping closer to Jake. Work got in the way again, and I let you down, but I'm here now, and I want to make it right. Jake stared at his father, his mind racing. Should he forgive him, trust him again? Before he could answer, Angelina knelt beside him once more. It's okay to feel hurt, she whispered. But remember, smiles can heal, not just for others, but for yourself too. With that, Jake took a deep breath and opened his arms. His father hesitated only for a moment, before pulling him into a tight embrace. The room erupted into applause, tears streaming down several faces, including Angelina's. In that moment, something shifted, not just for Jake and his father, but for everyone present. They realized that sometimes, all it takes is one person's courage to spark a chain reaction of love and understanding. But as powerful as this moment was, Angelina knew there was one last thing she needed to do before leaving. After the emotional reunion between Jake and his father, Angelina gathered the children together for one final activity. She pulled out a large whiteboard and markers from her bag. All right, everyone, she said, with a twinkle in her eye, let's create something together. The kids crowded around as she wrote 3 words on the board. Kindness changes everything. Beneath it, she drew a simple heart. Then she handed the markers to the children, encouraging them to add their own drawings and messages. Emma sketched a ballerina spinning gracefully. Sam added a picture of Spider-Man swinging through the air. Lily contributed a detailed landscape filled with candy trees. Even Jake joined in, drawing a stick figure version of himself hugging his dad. By the time they finished, the board was a vibrant collage of colors and dreams, a testament to the power of kindness and connection. Angelina took a photo of the artwork, promising to share it with others who might need a reminder of its message. As the visit came to an end, Angelina hugged each child individually, thanking them for their courage and strength. "You guys are heroes," she told them sincerely. "Never forget that." Finally, she turned to Jake, placing a hand on his shoulder. "You did amazing today," she said. "And remember, smiles don't stop when you leave this room. Keep spreading them wherever you go." With that, she waved goodbye and walked out of the hospital, leaving behind a room full of smiling faces and hopeful hearts. But as she stepped into her car, she glanced at the photo of the whiteboard one last time. A mischievous grin spread across her face. "This isn't the end," she murmured to herself. "It's only the beginning." What do you think? Did Angelina's visit make a difference in those kids' lives? And what about Jake? Do you think he'll continue spreading kindness, or will life throw him another curveball? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If this story warmed your heart as much as it did mine, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more inspiring true stories. Every day, ordinary people are doing extraordinary things, and I can't wait to share their journeys with you. Oh, and before you go, here's a sneak peek of what's coming next. Angelina's not done yet. Her next adventure takes her to a remote village, where she discovers a secret so powerful, it changes everything we thought we knew about hope and resilience. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and remember, kindness really does change everything. Until next time.